Welcome back to our channel, the knowledge of God in a deeper dimension. Now we are in the third part of the study and as well at the third video of the study. At the first video, we already defined who God is and what is it a man, what is it the sons of God. In the second video, we analyze the difference between the sons of God and the angels. Now at the third video, we are going to answer what it means they shall become one flesh, according to the book of Genesis chapter 2 verse 24, when God says, "Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother, and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh." What does it mean they shall become one flesh? As I explained in the very first video, God is a combination of a spirit and a soul. I call it Father Spirit and Mother Soul. And as well, we know that God was taking initiative to manifest himself to come in this world when it was making man. Now, I will explain this part. They shall become one flesh. What does it mean they shall become one flesh? Here's what it means. It means that the union of the man and the woman constitute one flesh. And this flesh is the representation of the manifestation of the soul of God. Simple as that. We call that the mother soul manifested in the visible world. The reason why I say that, it's because when God created Adam, when he breathed the breath of spirit inside of his nostril, the Bible said man become a living soul. Now, if man become a living soul, the first man become a living soul, it means that that was the manifestation of the soul of God. And bear with me and you will understand it deeply. This is the reason why when Jesus come as the second Adam. When Jesus come, the Bible doesn't say that Jesus is a living soul, but the Bible say Jesus is a life-giving spirit. Let me read this for you in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 45. It says that, "So also it's written, the first man, Adam, became a living soul. The last Adam became a life-giving spirit." Do you see it? Adam is the soul, but Jesus is the spirit. Adam, as the first command, represent all human on earth, because we are a manifestation of God, but we are the soul part of God. When God was taking initiative to manifest himself in the world at the first time, it was the soul part that was manifested. This is the reason why the first Adam represents the soul. And the second Adam, which is Jesus, he doesn't represent the soul part of God, but he represents the spirit of God. And this is the reason why when Jesus comes, the Bible said that Jesus is a life-giving spirit. Now we know that God is a union of spirit and soul. So the first Adam united with the second Adam is going to be a union of the soul and the spirit, which is going to be one flesh. And that one flesh will be what? Will be God. Do you understand it? Okay, let's go a little deeper. Like in the book of John chapter 10 verse 30, when Jesus said, "I and the Father are one." What it means, because Jesus was in a ministry, he was on earth like a human, meaning he was among the soul, meaning that time Jesus was now playing the role of a soul. and the Father that was in him, that was within him, represent the Spirit. It was an union of the Father and him, which was become one flesh. And that one flesh was what? That one flesh was God. Because God is a manifestation, because God is a union of soul and spirit. We represent soul on earth, and the spirit represent the Father Spirit. Simple as that. This is what Jesus means in the book of John 10, verse 30. And this is where I'm going to explain the book of John chapter 1, verse 1. When it says that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. Now, the Word was with God means exactly it was the Spirit that was with the soul. The soul of God is God, and the Spirit of God is God. The Word represents the Spirit. The reason why is because the Bible called the word Spirit, according to the book of John chapter 6, verse 63. Let me read this for you. He said that it's the Spirit who gives life. The flesh is no help at all. The words that I have spoken to you are spirit and life. Now you can see from the mouth of Jesus that he said that the word is spirit. And that's the reason why I said in the book of John 1:1 that the word God represents the spirit, and with God come in the spirit was with the soul. Do you understand this part? Does it make sense? If there is something that you understand different, you can ask a question so that I can give more information for the answer. And there is another verse that many people give themselves problem and saying that, okay, Jesus is not the Father, Jesus is not God, because it says in the Bible where Jesus said the Father is greater than I am. In the book of John 14, verse 28, people saying that, okay, Jesus said the Father is greater than me. What does it mean here? It means exactly Jesus was showing the superiority of the spirit over the soul. As I said, Jesus was in a ministry as it was manifested. He was among the soul. All human beings represent the manifestations of the soul of God, and the Spirit of God have to be connected with them so that there is a perfect union. Do you understand that? But you will see that when Jesus left the ministry, left the world, and he goes, he will play the role of the Father as the Holy Spirit. I will show this to you in this verse in the book of John 17, verse 28. Here's what it says. Jesus said, I in them, you in me, that they may become perfectly one, so that the world may know that you sent me and love them even as you love me. What does Jesus mean when it says, I in them? I in them is when Jesus become a spirit. When he returned under the form of the Holy Spirit, he will enter his people, or he will enter all the people who have faith in him, who believe in him, to make them can become sons of God. When you become sons of God, you receive that Spirit, and that Spirit is no one else than God, and that God is no one else than Jesus himself. I will read this verse where Jesus was talking with his disciple to show them that he will come. When he comes, he will be in them. Let's read the book of John 14, verse 17. Here's what it says. Even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it neither sees him nor knows him. You know him, for he dwells with you and will be in you. When Jesus said that the world cannot receive him, He's talking about the people that's called living according to their own mindset or according to their own will. They don't want to obey with the will of the Father, so they don't see it. They don't recognize Jesus. But Jesus said to his disciple, you know him. It says that in the present tense, but he says the Spirit will come. The Spirit is not even yet come. He said that you know him. He dwells with you in the present tense. The Spirit dwells in you. And at the last part of the sentence, he says, he will be in you. He dwells with you and will be in you. Who's going to be in them? It's the Spirit of the truth that Jesus was talking about. Now, which verse does explain that? Romans chapter 8, verse 10 and 14. He says, if Christ is in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the Spirit is alive because of righteousness. That means when Christ will come in the form of the Spirit, he will be in them. And this is it. Now, all people that believe that Jesus was manifested in the form of a flesh, likewise, the rib of Adam symbolized the soul of Adam. Eve is the manifestation of Adam's soul. It is the emotional side. She is the sensitive part of Adam. When the Bible said, God made a woman from the rib, which he has taken from the man, and brought her to the man. The man said, this is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. And she shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. The same God that we are a manifestation of the soul of God on earth, the same Eve is a manifestation of the soul of Adam on earth, meaning she is the emotional part, and she is the sensitive part of it. The same all human beings on earth can represent the souls of God. They represent the sensitive part of God. They represent the emotional parts of God. But to be one flesh with God, we need to have our soul connected with the Spirit of God. It's when God is dwelling in us, we are living according to the wills of God. We are one flesh with him. The same, we need to have the Spirit of Jesus in us to belong to God. Otherwise, we will belong to our own self. We will be our own master, because we will be living our own life. The Bible said that for all who led by the Spirit of God are sons of God. But if you are not leading by the Spirit of God, who are you? You are your own master. You don't care about God. And this is what the Bible calls the son of the devil. Let me read this verse for you so you truly understand what I want to explain. In the book of 1 John 2, 18 and 22, it says, children, it's the last hour. And as you have heard that Antichrist is coming, so now many Antichrists have come. Therefore, we know that it's the last hour. Who is liar? But he who denies that Jesus is Christ. This is the Antichrist. He who denies the Father and the Son. This is the Antichrist. Now, everyone who's living here who doesn't believe in Jesus Christ, who doesn't accept that Jesus Christ as the Father who come on earth, so you will not receive his Spirit, and you will be considered as an Antichrist. And the Spirit of the Creator will not dwell in you, but your own desire will take over of your spirit, and you will be living a life according to your own will. And you won't give a damn to God. You will live your life the way you feel it, the way you understand it. And getting to understand the word of the Lord will not make any sense for you. And this is where you are disconnected with God. This is where you're disconnected with the Father. because your soul take over of your spirit. In the same way, a man should not let a woman take over of his life. The same, you who represent a soul on earth cannot take over of the spirit of the Father. I don't know if this makes sense to you, but this is exactly what makes sense according to the Bible. Okay, now I reached the last parts of this third video. I explained what it means, one flesh. Both of them become one flesh. When the man can be united with the woman, they become one flesh, and this flesh represents the manifestation of the soul on earth. And deeper, I explained that Adam is the representation of the soul of God on earth. That first manifestation, and that first manifestation was a manifestation of God, and which represent the mother soul. Now Adam as the first man, or the first Adam, represent the soul of God, and all people on earth can represent the first Adam. And when Jesus comes, Jesus is the second Adam. The second Adam represents the Spirit of God. When the Spirit of God united with the soul of God, they become one flesh, and that one flesh is God. As I explained in the very first video, God is an union between the spirit and the soul. Does it make sense? Now, I believe that you understand what I wanted to explain deeper from the Bible, which is very difficult for people to understand. Now you get it. When the second Adam comes, meaning Jesus, when he comes into spirit, he will not come reunite with everybody on earth to make one flesh. He will only reunite with people who believe in him. Those who believe in Jesus Christ will receive that spirit, and they will become one flesh with him. These are the people that the Bible will call the temple of God. The Bible will call them the bride of God. The Bible will call them the habitation of God. And these are the type of people the Lord God wants us to be. And people that don't believe in Jesus, they will just be living their own life, and they will not have their soul saved. When your soul is not saved, you are not living according to the Father. Now, there is a last question that I would love to ask. If human beings are the same type or the same nature, if human beings are the same nature with God, a union of soul and spirit, God is immortal, right? Now, if God is immortal, what does it mean, the mortality of the soul of human being? Because we are the same nature of God. We should not be dying, right? We should not be able to die. So if we are able to die, what does it mean, the death of the soul? This question, I will be answering it in the last part of the study, which is going to be the fourth video. I'll see you in the fourth video. See you next.